We just flew into Cancun from Los Angeles, and we're about to have a week and a half of kite surfing in Isla Blanca, which is about 45 minutes north of Cancun. Our first destination will be Isla Blanca B&B, and then we're going to Icarus Kite Camp for a few days. We're going to pass by all these hotels here on Hotel Strip and head about 45 minutes north. It's about 30 kilometers of unpaved road to get to this location, so it's quite remote from the hotels. The sign looks great in the daylight, but at night when we arrived, when it was pitch black, this was a pretty hard place to find. If you're coming to Isla Blanca to kite surf, I would recommend staying on the peninsula. You really only have two choices of where to stay, the B&B or Icarus Kite Camp. The B&B is beautiful. It's a large house. It's got 4 bedrooms. It's got a living room, a sitting area, a dining room, a full kitchen. And if you're renting just one of the rooms and not the entire house, there will be other guests, which was great. We met people from Europe, from South America, and from other parts of the United States. The only downside is you're on the windward side of the peninsula, so it's quite windy day and night. And here we don't have any drapes due to the corrosion from the salt water, so we tended to get up with the sunlight. Well, here we are in Isla Blanca in Mexico, and as you can see, the wind's blowing quite strongly, so we're going to get some good kite surfing in today and hopefully for the next week. Cheers. So here we are, we're at the playa. Here's my wife in the car. Hi. Hi there. How's this for a kite surfing location? Oh, it's beautiful. So we get to drive right up on the beach, and we can kite surf right out here. So I'm going to set up in a minute. There's lots of people. The first day we're here was Friday, so obviously a work day. Well, today it's Saturday, and it's quite a different story on this part of the beach. I think all the locals come here for their weekend barbecue. So given that this place was very crowded with cars and people partying where we were kite surfing before, we decided to move further up the beach. Before I show you where we're kite surfing on the beach, I want to show you Icarus Kite Camp. This is a great place to kite surf if you're on a budget. There's a lot of people come here and just pitch a tent or a hammock, and that's their accommodation. So it's just a couple hundred feet up the road from the B&B. You drive down this sand road here, and here's the facility. Here we're looking at the building that has 4 rooms, the restaurant, nice yard for training and for setting up your kites and drying your kites off, which is always appreciated to get all the sand off. Icarus Kite Camp has a restaurant on site. They have a pretty decent menu. They serve a nice healthy breakfast. They have good lunch items. They're open all day, and they serve dinner. We ate here quite a few times. We also went into Cancun a couple of times. So you have both options, but it's a nice place just to grab a cup of coffee and sit out on the deck in the shade and read when you're not kite surfing, which we did on a few occasions. They have 4 double rooms on site. They're pretty plain, but they're clean, and the beds are comfortable, and the restrooms all work. If you're looking for a resort, then stay in Cancun. If you want, you can rent or pitch a tent up on the roof, or you can rent or pitch a tent out by the beach. Making my video. Really? That's right.
The one you're gonna put out
on YouTube? Yes. I'll email you my channel.
Wow, is that the one you made $16 from?
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, my name is Sandra, and I'm here kiting.
Is it any fun?
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. Everyone should come here.
Right.
It's awesome.
It's warmer than Sweden. All right, we'll see you in California maybe.
Yeah. Okay, see you guys later.
We've headed further north on the peninsula to what's called La Puente. This is where most of the kite surfing occurs. What's unique about this place is it's about 27 kilometers long, and you can go out easily 2-3 kilometers and only be in 10-12 inches of water. So it's a great place for teaching or for learning new tricks or for flat water kiting. On the ocean side, you're only a couple hundred yards away from the lagoon, so you have your choice of kite surfing in the Caribbean Sea or walking a couple of hundred yards across the sand and kiting in the lagoon. Now it's time to try some kite surfing. I've inflated my kite, got my lines all out. I'm attaching the lines to my harness, and if I'm lucky, I'll have a beautiful woman launch my kite for me and another beautiful woman hand me my board as I try kite surfing in the lagoon.
Orderly. All right.
Kiting in the lagoon is very unique and interesting. You quite literally only have 3 or 4 inches of water in quite a few places, and you always run the risk of cutting ashore and doing a face plant or breaking a fin. So many times I would have to kite and keep the kite overhead just to give me some lift to get over some of the sand. It's not always like this. It really depends on the prevailing winds and the tides, but the week we were there, the water was extremely shallow. Many times I'd go to make a turn and I would end up being only in 2 or 3 inches of water, and obviously as soon as I came off the plane, to any degree, the board just sank into the sand. Well, the day's pretty much over, so now it's time to land the kite for another day. It's a new day, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot of wind. A couple of times we were there in the week and a half there wasn't enough wind to kite surf, but most days there was lots of wind.
So what do you do when there's no wind and you're at the beach?
You read.
So Sandra, what do you do when there's no wind?
Tanning,
Tanning?
relaxing.
Relaxing?
Yeah, waiting for wind.
Oh. So do I have your permission to put you on my YouTube video?
Yeah.
I'll give you artistic sign off first.
Yeah.
So what do you do when there's no wind?
I don't know.
Oh.
There's
So
not
do I
much
have your
to do
permission
here.
to put you on my YouTube video?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll give you artistic sign off first.
Yeah, good.
I'll send
I
you
wanna
the
see
rough
that
draft.
video afterwards.
You have to email your YouTube channel.
I will.